Hello guys,
Hello.
Welcome to the Culture Reel.
Hi.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you so much. I'm Tolu.
And if you haven't guessed
Realised.
already, then what you been doing? No. I'm Abby.
Hello. So this week we've had a few topics that we are very interested to dive right into. Abby, do you want to?
Yep, so this week we want to talk about Netflix pulling out of Cannes and what that means. We want to talk, about much to Tolu's peril, because poor Tolu has been strong-armed into this by force. We will talk about the Kardashian drama because, no, not even because of pop culture. It's because I want to, as two women, I want to talk about what's going on, and if you're up to date with your pop culture, You'll know. Exactly.
Kris Jenner makes it known.
Oh, she does. That woman is a machine.
She is. Honestly, as much as I'm not a massive fan of like the...
You gotta give the woman credit.
Honestly, she's amazing.
Kris Jenner single-handedly has made her 6 talentless children into multi-millionaires and into brands and into emojis and into... whatever.
She's taken over the world with these 6
really
people
has.
who haven't contributed anything to art. Honestly, they haven't done anything. Like, they can't sing, they can't act, they can't dance.
They've got nothing.
Nothing.
They've got
They
nothing.
can't even paint or draw. Like, it's literally nothing. But, do you know what? I commend Kris. I commend all the Kardashians and Jenners, because if you're able to make nothing work for you and turn you into a millionaire, billionairess, then...
Well, seeing as we're on the topic, we might as well start with this one. Let's
get into it.
Let's do the trash talk first, and we'll get into the ones that are more, they matter more. So, okay, so a few days ago, the world found out. I'm picking my words very, very, very carefully. Found out that Tristan Thompson, who's Khloe Kardashian's boyfriend, partner, whatever, person, significant other, was cheating on her with multiple people. Now, LOL.
I mean, nobody wants to hear that they've been cheated on, especially when you're fully 9 months pregnant.
Even though,
it's
sad.
That's
sad. It is sad. It is
how you sort of gained your own.
Yeah, I am a firm believer in you lose them how you find them.
Yes, same.
I'm a firm believer in you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that nobody's happiness comes from someone else's sorrow.
Yeah.
And God, I sound very Nigerian there. Very. There's a lot of proverbs. The proverbs are coming out. Now, look, when Khloe got with this guy, he left his then girlfriend, who was 7 months pregnant with his first child, for Khloe. Yeah. Now, Khloe talks about she's as a feminist.
Yeah, she is. She does like female empowerment, women sticking together, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it does seem like she only does that when it's convenient for her. So that isn't feminism. That's almost the opposite.
Exactly.
Of feminism.
It's only when it benefits Khloe, or she's been, people are asking for her head. Yeah. That's when she starts tweeting all this nonsense and putting posts about female empowerment.
It's very convenient.
But what my question to Khloe is that, where were you when you were where was all of that when you were knocking off another woman's crown? How are you elevating this woman? You lose them as you found them. And yes, you know what? It is sad that she apparently, we don't know how much of this is true, but apparently when she found out the news, when she went into induced her labour. Yeah.
So now Khloe, by the time this goes out, or I'm sure everybody knows already, is officially a mother. She has given birth to a gorgeous
Congratulations,
baby girl.
By the way.
Yeah, congratulations to Khloe. I do think it's really sad. So I'm a bit conflicted about this, because I don't condone anything that Khloe's done. I don't agree with the way that she
has gone about it.
Yeah, she's gone about it, or just the way she found her boyfriend / partner or whatever. But at the same time, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. No. Like, pregnancy is like one of the hardest things like a woman can go through.
Well, exactly, which is why I'm finding it quite difficult to feel sorry for her, just because exactly that, it is a difficult thing for a woman to go through. It's your first child, just like it was that lady's first child. It's your very first experience. So I'm sorry, but why should the world feel so... What, because you're a Kardashian?
Yeah.
So therefore, like, do your feelings matter more than someone else's?
Yeah, it's true. Was anybody else...
Exactly.
I mean,
She could have waited until... they might have been split up or whatever, but Chloe, as a woman and someone who preaches about female empowerment and uplifting other women, she could have waited until that woman had her baby, or even said, you know
just
what?
Out of common, just not even just like common courtesy, and just out of
just she was like, you know what?
sense.
Yeah, just like being a decent human being to a fellow woman.
I just don't even think that even comes into it. Just like, if you're dating a man who is with someone who is 7 months pregnant with his child, why would you go there?
And how can you trust him?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
That's why I said you lose them how you find them.
Yeah,
because
it's red flags all over.
Exactly, because number one, he's showing you that he's untrustworthy.
Yeah.
He's showing you that he's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a cheater.
Just as common sense.
He's not steadfast.
You don't even have to like other women.
Exactly.
Like you could be just sort of like the world's biggest anti-feminist person, but as someone just as a human walking being in this world.
Exactly. I'm sorry, but I've got to say, because some people, I come from a household full of women, being the eldest of 4 girls, and my sisters are younger, and they're very much into this whole Kardashian thing. They're at that age 19 where they love all of that, and they know that I'm very anti the Kardashian Jenner clan. They know I am, and for the first time in all these years that this family has been around in all of our flipping social media and magazines, none of them had a comeback. Because when I walked in and I said, oh, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Look at Chloe, she's crying about it now, but how do you... now she knows how that girl feels.
Yeah, that's true.
Now she knows how that girl feels. My mum, my sisters had no comeback. Normally, they always have a comeback for me in regards to the Kardashians.
Me
but
too,
you know what?
I always do.
They don't have anything to say. And, I'm not pro Kardashian Jenner, because again I do think they're talentless people and they've provided nothing, have given us nothing, given society nothing, and yet they are some of the richest people walking this planet off nothing.
Smart.
But you just don't do that to people. And you know what? I do feel sorry for her, because hers is even worse. You see how
such a public,
exactly, because she was on such a public platform for the whole world to see, and apparently it was not even 1 or 2, 3 women. There's sex tapes and things. Now, where I take my foot off the gas is everything this family does is done for publicity. So I'm sitting here thinking, all right, Mama Jenner, what you got up your sleeve?
Queen Jenner.
Yeah. All right, Chris, Miss Thing, what have you got on your sleeve? Because some people are saying...
She should, honestly, but if Kris Jenner can do sort of like a TED Talk for sort of like all... for our sort of like publicists, marketeers, how to make this work in our favour.
No, but she's going to keep the magic to herself.
Obviously,
why would you share the formula?
That?
I wouldn't.
I mean, no, honestly.
What, so somebody can come and take my daily bread?
Yeah, but do you know what? I think she's, honestly, I don't know how she's done it. I don't know how she's managed it, but she has worked her magic on all of this. But I do think that she could probably make some more money if she sells just a little bit of her formula, just a little
like
bit.
The Rich Dad Poor Dad book,
or
something.
It sort of like sprinkles you with a bit of knowledge, but not enough.
Not enough for you to make it the way they have.
Keep coming back for more.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, it's smartest.
If it is for, because they said the story actually, this was back in October.
Apparently the footage was filmed back in October, so who knows how long they've known for. Yeah. Because I'm surprised that it seems like no one said anything. And I just think how convenient that it's been leaked right now. Do you think so? Right now. Convenient?
Because I don't trust anything that family does, because I feel like everything is to make money.
I do think it's a shame now that it's gotten to a point where everyone's second guessing, or like no one actually believes. Like, so let's say for example, if news does come out that this is a good example, like when Kim got robbed.
Yeah.
Everyone was
like, okay.
Yeah. And I genuinely...
Sorry, I'm not laughing at the fact she got robbed. I'm laughing at the fact that no one cared.
No one was sympathetic.
Nobody was sympathetic.
So
this is what happens. This is what happens when you flaunt your wealth. This is what happens.
I think it's...
Well, this is what people are saying. Why should we feel sorry for them?
But she doesn't really. Like, not like how, let's say, for example, how, like, P. Diddy does. Like, we know that he's rich, but no one's ever tried to, I don't know... They might have tried to rob P. Diddy, and maybe he didn't flaunt it on media or social media.
That's because he's probably got an AK-47 right beside his
door. But, I mean,
I joke.
But she had sort of like security and stuff. I thought it was really sad. It's just like you'd feel really sorry for someone if this was anybody else, but because it's Kim Kardashian, okay, fine, you've seen her naked against your...
You know what? And going on what you've just said... That's exactly what it is. I think if it was any other person that this happened to, the fact that Chloe's a Kardashian...
no one's going to feel bad for her.
Number one, people are already looking for their downfall.
Number
two, even when they do something good, let's say for a charity, no one gives them monkeys because, again, they're like, it's publicity. There's nothing they can possibly do.
It's unfortunate a bit.
I don't think so, because I don't think they care, because they've made the money they want. I don't think people... True. I don't think... The great thing is that they've all got each other, so it's not like there's one person. I legit don't think they give a monkeys whether people like them or not. But do you think...
I don't know, maybe I don't know.
I don't think they want people to say that's unfortunate, because they think they don't care.
No, but
you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but I do think that some of them do care about what people think about them. Otherwise...
Of course they do.
Yeah, so then, you know, if they are trying to do... Let's say, for example, one of them does try to... be like, oh, okay, I'm going to be a humanitarian now. I'm going to do sort of like charity work and stuff. And then everyone's like, oh, you know, what the fuck is this? Like, no one believes you. I do think that would affect them.
Do you know what it stems back to? It stems back to fruit of the poisonous tree, in the sense that because their riches came from a sex tape, so to speak.
That was Kim's.
No, but it was Kim's sex tape. But it was Kim's sex tape that made us know. I didn't know who Chloe was.
No, same. But, I mean, okay, fine. That gave them sort of like the leverage. But I don't think you can... I don't even really think that Kim's sex tape can tarnish the whole family.
No, I don't think it can tarnish the whole family. But that's all... Like, whenever I just think, oh, God, the family that made it because...
Because one of the daughters made a sex tape.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That is exactly why she made it.
That's the stigma that's always going to be attached to them. The fact that they didn't... If it was different if Kim came... they became well known because one of them was talented. Like, oh my God, like there's, like Celine Dion's family. Like, oh, Celine Dion's
Braxtons.
You know what? Even better, the Braxtons. So you're like, oh, they're all talented, and the ones that we don't know, it doesn't matter because Tony Braxton's or Tamar Braxton's sister or whatever, or Tawanda, whichever their sister's called.
I don't know.
It's too much. Yeah. Then or even like, oh God, and I hate to say it, but P. Diddy, going back to P. Diddy, so his son Justin, he's the new face of I think Tommy Hilfiger.
I think I saw that somewhere.
And just think, oh God, another talentless nepotism at its peak. But you're like, oh, it's Diddy's child. He's worked for it.
Who's worked for it? Diddy's
worked. Okay, I'm saying that. Diddy's worked for it. So you're like, oh, at least his dad has got some talent, or making beats, or Timberland's child, or Pharrell's child, or whatever. You're like, okay, at least they've made people, but with the Kardashians, no one can say that. Nobody can say that. You just think they're opportunists, and you know what? Gotta say, I will say, on a positive note, good for them for making loads of money out of.
That's why I think it's amazing. It's just like, okay, fine, everyone can laugh and point and be like, okay, they're awful, blah 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 blah. But you that's sitting there at home with the most talent in the world haven't made it as far as they've made it. Whose fault is that? Is that their fault that you haven't made it?
And who's winning?
Exactly. And it's just like, I don't know, they, okay, fine, they might have had different opportunities in that, but somehow they've made it work. There are loads of people who have no talent.
Who have the same opportunities and they just haven't made it work.
I mean, I think like, even sort of like Paris Hilton, who started as just quote unquote a socialite. Like she again has no talent.
Well,
she was only
Kim
known for
Kardashian
being
was her stylist.
Exactly. So how do you go from being sort of like a no one / someone's stylist who is a socialite? Again, you're a stylist, you're a nobody for someone who's known for not doing anything, but yet you've elevated your life and your career based on
a sex tape.
Well, I guess, okay, fine, a sex tape. But you've spun that and you've made it work for you. You've made it work for you. Do you know what? I think that's the smartest thing ever.
Yeah, I do. And then they have the stores. So the stores help them. The Dash stores, remember?
But then that's
and then the branding. Credit where it's due. And I
honestly
think that's what it is. And I think it. I've got to say, I think obviously again I'm generalising. I think people are vexed, people are like, oh my God, I work very, very hard and I'm never going to have what they have, and I think that's why people find it hard to feel sorry for her, and more, and obviously in the context of what we're speaking about, she's done another woman dirty, and so people are kind of like, well, you gotta, you know what I mean, you planted it, so you gotta eat it. But I do, it is unfortunate, and I do feel bad for her, because no woman should ever have to go through that, but I hope this is a lesson to her that, again, we all reap what we sow. Yeah. And
just a lesson to everyone in general.
Yeah, you gotta just respect the code of human beings. Just don't do that to other people. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter. But
I think that was enough. You said a lot.
Congratulations and all that.
Yeah, congrats, Chloe. She was my favourite as well. She was my favourite. And Courtney and Kit. Actually, I did that. Honestly, I liked all of them. Sort of, I just enjoyed watching their antics, and then it just got a bit too far, and it was just like, okay,
they just made too much money, and then it just became so scripted that it was nonsense.
Yeah, I don't think the money had anything to do with it. I mean, maybe the richer they got, the less they had to do, so they ran out of storylines or whatever. But
true,
I enjoyed watching it. Just I guess it's the same as everybody enjoys watching Love and Hip Hop and stuff like that. But
I did. I watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians for like the first few seasons, and then I stopped. And it just got. I just got boring, and it was just so scripted that some.
But then on saying that, I know we're going slightly off topic, but I'm a bit of a sucker for a scripted reality show. Made in Chelsea is my absolute favourite.
Oh,
I adore it.
Who did I walk? Oh, Jamie Lang.
Yeah,
I walked past him, and
did you?
I walked past him, and I don't really know. I don't know these people, so the one.
Padlock. I don't know what. Who else was he with? Someone else?
Oh, do you know who? A few weeks ago, I was driving to pick my mum up, and I gave Spencer Matthew away.
Was it?
Yeah, lovely
you
Ferrari.
You gave him away.
Gave him away.
Oh,
I was driving. Gave him away.
So I know he's getting married soon, but I don't know if he also hopefully.
Yeah, no, I gave him away, and he had really platinum bleached blonde hair.
Does he now?
Well, when he was in the car, and I just said to my sister, "Look, Spencer Matthews." Oh, but you know who we did see last week? Or this week gone.
Tough.
No, not made. The other one, the one from Essex. The Essex.
Oh,
what's that one
Towie,
called? Yeah, the one who's got really long hair.
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you neither. He's got loads of tattoos.
Oh, Pete.
Pete Wicks.
Wow.
Pete Wicks, yeah, who was driving in his Mercedes past me like, Pete Wicks. And he just stuck out his thumb, like, thumbs up. It's like, yeah, hello, bye.
I used to really like Towie, and then again it just probably got to a point where it was just
I didn't really understand anything they was talking about.
What do you mean, mate? For Essex.
The Jazzle.
I loved it in the first couple of series with Amy and Sam.
Oh, the originals of Mark Wright and all that.
It was really good, and then I think they started introducing maybe too many people.
Too
so
many.
it's just, I don't know.
Well, it's on that, do you remember when they got sued? Remember Brian Bello?
Brian got sued?
No, Brian sued them. Yeah, Brian sued them because it was his idea.
Yes, sir. How did that, do you know how that sort of ended?
I think they paid him.
Did they?
Yeah, they paid. Yeah,
they kept that quiet.
They paid him. They paid him off. Yeah, because it was his idea, and they stole it from him.
A lot of stealing happening in the industry.
I'm not sure. Go on, you go.
Okay, so I don't know how well everyone keeps up with. I guess like news had come out that the creators of Stranger Things on Netflix are being sued for basically stealing plot ideas from some lesser-known
a director named Charlie Kessler. So he made a short film back in 2012, and it was supposed to be made into a feature. And I think he pitched it, or they were working together with the Duffer Brothers that obviously created Stranger Things. And yeah, man, they ran.
That's cheeky.
They took it and bolted.
That's so cheeky.
I shouldn't laugh because that's the most horrible thing to do to someone.
Especially when you're a creative and you're trying to make money from your ideas.
You're just trying to make it like the next person.
That's so cheeky.
And you just... That's terrible.
There's a lot. I think there was another story of someone stealing ideas. It was The Shape of Water.
I read that.
So I think
I read that.
An author had recognised some of his work in The Shape of Water. So that's going through the legal system at the moment.
There's imitating and flattery.
Yeah.
And then there's downright theft.
Well, okay, so I'm interested in this because what is the line? Because a lot of the times when let's say, for example, the first person that comes to my head is Quentin Tarantino. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, but, he's inspired by these sort of like these Asian films because we know that he's stolen scenes from, that he's used in Reservoir Dogs, Django, Bloody Kill Bill was ripped off.
And then some, yeah.
Exactly. So it's sort of like, okay, so what's the line? It's just like a lot of people are saying that, okay, fine, Quentin Tarantino is a genius, he does this, blah, blah, blah,
there's
blah.
There's a genius and then there's not giving people credit for their work.
Yeah.
And I think that's outrageous. And to be honest with you, I have no words for people who abuse their positions. I have no words.
Yeah,
I think it's
disgusting.
scum.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
The fact that you can take someone else's creativity, someone's brain power, someone's
It's like someone's essence.
Yeah, someone's very what they've put their heart and soul to, and run away with it and not give them credit.
Because this other person who's running with the idea is going to get financially compensated for this.
Your work.
Yeah. I would be mad as hell.
Absolutely. And it's not even just about the remuneration. It's not about the money. It's just I'm just saying, it's not just about the money. It's just about respect.
Yeah,
it's just like, do you not respect me enough just to even say, by the way, X, thank you so much
for this idea. We're gonna run
and and then here's your cut, because you just
even
don't
if it
do
was
that.
just like the smallest bit, it's just like this is
that's
all
why
the money
that's why I said
have.
it's not about the money. It's just about, you just can't do that to fellow creatives, because let's flip it. How would they like it if it was done? So what if, like, let's say I'm sitting next to Tarantino on a bus and I hear him saying something, and I run away with it, and I'm like, here you go. This is my idea. Yeah. You think he'll be hurt and he'll be pissed off.
You know that his people will be knocking on your door quick.
They'll be before I can spell Tarantino, they'll be knocking on my door. So that's what I'm saying. It's about the giants thinking they can step on the little people and get away with it, and I can't stand that.
There's a lot. It seems to be.
And I actually liked it. I love my Tarantino. Me
too. Well, he's problematic.
He's problematic.
Yeah. I know. It's like, what's the line? What's the line? It's unfortunate because
Tarantino makes my head hurt, man. He's just like, I'm like, just behave yourself, man. Just because Spike Lee hates him.
Does he?
When Django came out, Spike Lee was not having a bar of it.
Because he sees the N-word in everything. Do you know what? I think it's
Spike Lee.
I think it's unnecessary.
Spike Lee. Django was ridiculous.
I
did like the film, though. I've got to say,
it was good. The film was good. I don't remember how many times, because it all feels like it merges into one.
Yeah.
It's like, if I know that I'm watching a Quentin Tarantino movie, I know that the N-word is coming. It's going to just used so flippantly,
and that's why I think a lot of black creatives aren't feeling him. They're thinking, look at him, he just feels like he can just be using the words.
Like, who are you?
You wouldn't see that in a Spike Lee film.
It's
true, he does use the word, don't get me wrong.
But I suppose it's in a different context, and it's
do you know what film I'm going to go home and watch? Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing.
Do you know what? I have never seen that before.
Chai!
I know, I've never seen it before. It's another one that's always been on my list for ages.
Oh my gosh!
Just never seen
Do
it
the
before.
Right Thing is have you seen Jungle Fever?
No. Do you know what? I don't think I've seen any Spike Lee film. And I don't know how I've gotten this far in life without seeing any Spike Lee film. I don't know.
How now? What's this?
I don't know. I know, obviously, off the
Go and stand in that corner and have a word with yourself.
I don't know how
I'm gonna go watch Do the Right Thing when I get home, because I haven't seen that film in ages, and that is a brilliant film.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
What's that?
That is a film. I won't spoil it for you, because it's actually one of his best films.
Oh, right. Is it
very, very
what's
good.
the one that's a Netflix program now?
Get Down?
No, the one with Nola Darling.
Oh.
She's got to have it.
She's got to. Oh yeah, that's Spike Lee.
No, I know. But it was a film first, and it became a
great film.
I haven't seen. Okay,
great film. My parents really brought me up on Spike Lee.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
That's
my mum and dad love Spike Lee. Radio Rakim, he's a character in Do the Right Thing. Just go.
Is he the one that passed away?
Yeah. My.
See, I know of the films and stuff, but I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's very good. Racism in it as well.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah,
but okay, what I was going to say.
Go and watch it.
Was that I really didn't enjoy the Netflix series.
I didn't even entertain it, to be honest with you, just because there are certain films. Yeah. So, there are films that I just don't. I don't believe they should ever be touched. And Spike Lee films are wonderful. They are tasteful. They're still very relevant.
They're still very relevant. Find that really interesting.
They are still very relevant. And it's I do like my Spike Lee. I know he's so combative and like, Spike, stop having beef with people.
Yeah, it's true.
Every day it's beef. Yeah. But I love him because he's so passionate about what he does, and he's very,
That's good. And there's so few sort of like black.
Yeah, I respect him so much.
I respect him, but then there was that last film that he did. I think was it Chirac? No, was it Chirac? Like it was just like all the women should just tell men not to have sex, and then that will solve a lot of the world's problems or something.
No, I haven't seen that.
Really, sort of just
was derogatory.
It was just really ignorant, and it was just like, okay, so you think that that's just going to solve all the world's problems if women just turn around and it's just like, okay, no, I'm not going to have sex with men anymore, and then the whole, it's just kind of sort of like,
I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah. It's like, I do enjoy penis. I don't. I just think it's so. I can't remember.
Ne regrette rien. Yeah, no regret rien. I regret nothing.
It's just like,
That's just funny.
Yeah, it's just like,
It's
do
like,
you even
shut up, Spike.
Yeah.
Go have your gin and lime, man, and take a seat.
Like, do you even understand the world? Like, have you met?
Very funny.
I don't know. It was just bizarre. Anywho, but yeah, yeah. So we're not down with any sort of like copying and.
No, I just think, look, you know, if someone's pitched an idea to you, or you've wrote something with someone, and even if you've fallen out, you've lost touch, you need to give that person credit.
Yeah.
Because God is my witness. If anyone was to ever rip off one of my
Well,
ideas,
this is it. So
I'm coming for you.
So sometimes I sit and I'm just like, oh my God, I've got the best idea for like a rom-com. I've got the best idea for like a TV program and stuff like that. And so it's just like, okay, I start writing and then I'm just like, do I need to copyright this? Like before anything else happens? Because obviously I'd want to pitch it, or, you know, I want someone to see it and commission it and stuff like that. But then again, I'm sort of like fearful. Like, okay, if someone takes this idea and runs with it, I'm screwed. I have no money.
No, because, well, you know, I probably neither do a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. Actually, that brings me on to my next part. So, talking about ripping people off, not giving them credit. Tulisa, M-Dub's fame. So she took will.i.am and Britney Spears to court because she co-wrote. You know, she said from day dot she co-wrote their smash hit "Scream and Shout."
Scream
And shout and let it all out. I mean, that's all Britney says in the whole damn thing.
So wait, which part did she?
I don't think it wasn't called
Shout?
Scream or Shout. It was made for her album, her first album and I think the producers didn't like Tulisa's version. They took it and then gave it to will.i.am and Britney, and they left her name off,
which is hella cheeky.
Now, in regards, we're talking about not having money.
Yeah.
Now, okay, Tulisa's got a bit of change in her pocket, but she hasn't got Britney type of money.
True.
She hasn't got will.i.am type of money. But my girl fought for 5 years.
Is that how long it's been?
5 years. To prove that she was the co-writer. They left her off completely. Did they say why they left her off? I was reading through, and I mean, will.i.am actually said he said something like, Tulisa did actually write the song, but
I just didn't want to put her on it.
Well,
I just copied her homework.
Actually, I've got it here. It said Tulisa wrote that song before I did. This is the truth, but the producers of the beat didn't want her to have it. That's what will.i.am said. I don't care if the producers didn't want her to have it. She don't have to have it.
That's
the fact is she co-wrote the song.
That's so cheeky.
So what you do
Who's
is
the producers of the song? Do we know?
I don't actually know who the producers were, but regardless of who the producers were, her name still goes on.
That's so
And they
cheeky.
left her out, and you know, it was actually Britney Spears' first #1 hit in over 10 years.
Yeah, in the UK.
So you're thinking, hold on, it's one of the biggest tracks.
She's owed money for this track. They owe her money for
hey,
this
babe,
track.
get that $dollar bills, y'all. Get your money. And you know what?
That's
well
so
done,
cheeky.
you, because she went up against some proper heavyweights in the music industry. I mean, Britney damn Spears.
Yeah.
You know.
I suppose it will be mainly will.i.am's people, because I don't think Britney
you know what the good thing is? I think they stopped all of the monies from when Tulisa said that she was going to sue them. Yeah. They actually stopped any monies being distributed to whoever until they came out. So you know what? Good for her. She's
sort of like a nice chunk of that.
And she should. And she should. You can't do that to people. You know, you just cannot run. It just makes me sick. And I just think, these are people that we know. Can you imagine all the ones that we don't know? Yeah. Could you imagine all of the books that we read thinking the X person owns it? Or all the films that we've seen and all the shows that have come out, and we don't know who the real owners or the real brains or the real creatives are.
I think sort of, I don't know, guys.
Because it's like you said, people don't want to go up when they don't have any money.
I was going to say, if you don't have any money, you can't actually fight a lot of these people. So what can you do?
If you don't have the resources, if you don't have, you don't have the time, you don't have the, people don't believe you.
Guys, keep a record of everything, record everything, film everything, like copyright everything. I suppose that's the safest way to sort of like cover yourself.
Absolutely.
Because it's a dangerous, funny game out there. Like it almost seems like no one really cares. It's just like, oh, I like that, I'm gonna take it. It's so weird, and I don't understand why it's.
Yeah, and
like
you really do need to, you can
just protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
Yeah,
you need to protect yourself. Absolutely.
God.
So, right now that we're on, we've done that. My next thing is to talk about Can.
Oh God.
And Netflix.
Can one day.
We're going next year. We're going next year. I said it out loud. We're going next year. So Netflix have said, well, fuck you very much.
Screw you guys.
They said, we ain't coming to touch you on your poxy French soil.
On your
stay where we are.
Yeah, they're not interested at all.
And you know what? Good for them.
Honestly, okay, so the story behind it is that Can has released a whole new set of rules for this year. Some of the rules are a bit, I don't see what's the point in it, and then some of the rules are, wow, okay. Did you hear about the first couple of rules, which is no selfies on the red carpet?
I saw that.
Pardon? I just don't see what's the problem, okay?
What is the problem?
It's basically, I think they were saying that how it just takes up too much time on the red carpet and they just want it to flow a bit better. I just don't think anyone's going to die. It's fine if the film is like 5 minutes late. It's fine. But anyway, the main reason why Netflix isn't showing at Cannes is because Cannes have some new rules that basically says that any film that will be shown in the festival needs to be released in France within a 3-year period, and needs to be released theatrically, so in the cinema in France within a 3-year period. So basically, Netflix is Netflix. Netflix is a streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
They don't show it in cinema. Not all the times. Okay, they have a few sort of like productions such as Mudbound, but when they do that, it's only sort of like for a short period. They'll probably release it sort of like for a week. Yeah. But basically, the films would need to be released in all the films that they want to show at Cannes would need to be released in the cinema. And Netflix said, no, I don't want to do that. This is not what we do. Yeah, and
I'm pleased that they weren't held to ransom.
Yeah.
I'm pleased that they were like, okay,
bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, innit? If that's what you want, then bye.
We really don't need you. They don't.
They don't. That's what I think it is.
And I think
about this.
Kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I think
they've been really
this
silly.
Is clearly where the industry is going. Streaming is it's the way forward.
It's the way forward.
You can, and I guess like just anyone, you don't want to be a blockbuster. Like me and Abby talk about this literally all the time. You don't want to be a blockbuster. You don't want to get left behind. So go with the times. If Cannes needs to, recently Cannes just introduced a new festival in which they show TV series. So Cannes are now doing, it's called Cannes Series, you can look it up. So now they do a festival on TV. So, because they know that a lot of people are spending more money on high-end TV productions because, they've got the HBOs, they've got, the Netflix who are spending literally millions per episode to give us good TV content. So, okay, they were like, okay, cool, we're missing a trick. Let's just do TV stuff.
Yeah.
So why they won't sort of like evolve and include streaming services just doesn't make any sense to me.
I do think they're making a very, very, grave mistake.
Yeah.
And
I feel like in a couple of years they're going to be like,
the future.
Okay,
they're going to, and they might go and do it in Sundance instead or somewhere. They might go somewhere else, and then you would have missed that.
Yeah, exactly.
That boat would have sailed, and you would have missed it.
Yeah,
because they might not want to work with them anymore.
Yeah,
and then what? And on this topic, so Helen Mirren was complaining that Netflix is ruining
cinema
stuff. You know what? I actually do love Dame Helen Mirren. I absolutely adore
she's amazing.
her. But Helen, you need to pipe down because she's saying things like her husband. It's messing things up for her husband. so sorry that we don't want to go to the cinema and spend £20 to watch a film where I'm listening to a baby crying, or people checking their mobile phones, or someone eating popcorn loudly. Sorry that I don't want to go to the cinema for 3 hours where I sometimes don't actually enjoy myself because the people around me aren't respecting the room.
And sometimes
and sorry that I'm not
great.
sorry that I'm not going to cinema to make you even richer than you are.
Exactly.
Is that what?
It's like, sorry that I don't have all of these riches lying around.
But it's like, and also, it's like
that's going in your
that's
pocket.
The problem with Helen Mirren. What she's trying to say is, guys, you guys not going to the cinema is messing up my money.
Yeah, basically.
That's exactly. I don't. Like, if you're Helen Mirren fans, please come. At me at Abbey Films. At Tolu. No, because I really want to know what you guys think about this, because all I could hear was someone who sounded incredibly entitled telling us how we should live our lives in regards to how we go and watch movies. But if I want to just sit in my bedroom and watch a movie, I'm going to do that. Yeah. It's not thanks, Helen, for the advice. Yeah.
I'm going to do what I like.
I'm still going to do what the hell I want to do, which is do what I want to do.
And also, don't you think it's if it just doesn't make any sense? Sort of, if we're restricting people to watch films only in a cinema, and I love the cinema. I will try and go to the cinema as much as I can. I absolutely adore it. Nothing beats the cinematic experience. But if you have to tell me that I have to pay every time that I go to the cinema, I won't have any money left to do anything else, because cinema prices are very pricey. They're to me, I find them very extortionate. I don't understand that why I've got to pay £4 for popcorn. Exactly. I've got to pay £20 to watch a 2-hour movie. That's £10 an hour.
And that's what I'm saying. And then you pay that kind of money only to sit around people who aren't even respecting the room.
Oh my God. My worst thing is using their phone in the cinema.
The way I've booted the back of someone's chair.
Oh my, I just don't understand.
No, I've actually booted, and he turned around and was like, what? I said, can you turn that off? Because I didn't pay to look at your screen.
Well, this is it.
And he just looked at me and I said, yeah.
It's just weird.
It's so...
I paid £20 to go and sit in a dark room to look at your phone. I just find it really weird. It's just like, I'm sure whatever it is can wait 2.5 hours. So Helen Mirren said, and I quote, she said, "It's devastating for people like my husband, film directors, because they want their movies to be watched in a cinema with a group of people. So it's a communal thing." Helen. I mean...
Helen, hells, man, hells. Look.
Hells.
No.
It's unrealistic.
And especially with age, it is unrealistic.
In this day and age, the way that the industry's going, the way technology's going.
We've got Sky Q, and actually, it doesn't take that long before the film that I could have just...
Exactly, and I'm paying for Sky Q, so I'm sure Sky pays for licensing so that they can show these films
very quickly. Exactly. Sometimes when they're pretty much still in the cinema. So again, it's not.
You're still getting the money that you want.
Don't get me wrong. I love the cinema. I love going to the cinema, and I do actually enjoy the cinematic experience. Yeah. However, sometimes when I weigh up spending that kind of money, being surrounded by people who again don't respect the fact that many of us
ruins it for you.
It ruins the experience. So I'm sorry, Helen, that you and your husband and other filmmakers aren't making the money you want to. Apologise for that, but I think now consumers are looking out for themselves.
Yeah, because there's no... Yeah, that's it. It's just like, why spend money to be miserable for 2.5 hours?
Exactly. So, as I said, there are certain things, as we're looking forward to Infinity War, we're looking forward to Ocean's 8. So, there will be... So, there are films that, of course, we're going to go and watch in the cinema because that's the experience.
But also, at the same time, stuff like that. I mean, I went to go see Black Panther twice in the cinema because I was just like, fuck yeah, obviously I'm going to go watch this. And the cinematic experience was just like, oh, this is just doing amazing. But I'm also going to buy that shit on DVD. Exactly. I'm also probably going to pay to stream it as well. Exactly. Because I want to watch it in the comfort of my own home.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So it's just, I don't see what's the problem of...
Absolutely.
I just don't see what the problem is.
I think, she just needs to get a better understanding of what people want, and it's just not that right now. I think that's the problem with Cannes as well. I think it's just they don't really understand why or how the industry is moving, because I don't if you make a film, you go through the process of making a film. Okay, fine. If it doesn't get a cinema, I just don't see what the problem is. Okay, so it doesn't get a cinematic or theatrical release. Okay, and exactly. And I think she just needs to get real. You can't expect people to stop using Netflix and millions of people to stop using Netflix just because she's not feeling the financial benefit. Because that's what it is. That is what it is. Again, as I said in the beginning, it's just, call a spade a spade. It's all about money.
Yeah. The whole industry is about money.
It is, exactly.
The reason that you make films is to make money.
Exactly.
No one's making a film to lose money.
So you think Steven Spielberg has just stopped? He could have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, he's the richest director in the world. He could have stopped time ago.
All of these studios, they could have been like, we made Titanic. That was the richest. That was,
you know
made
what?
the most money.
Yeah,
we're done.
That's it. We're done. Avatar, that's done. You know, Harry Potter, that's done. Come on, Helen, let's get real.
Yeah.
Still love you though.
Love you, house.
So I mean, I know we've, sorry about my Kardashian rant, but that was. It's only because Tolu, I was saying, we got to do Kardashians. She's like, crying out loud.
Rolled my eyes, and she's like, I don't know about this.
That's how I felt about when you spoke about flipping the Solo movie. That's how I felt. Oh God.
Let's get there.
Nobody asked for that film. I'll say it again. I will say it again. Nobody asked for that film.
I'm still going to be there in the cinema with my popcorn, just looking hella excited.
The one that we just said that after we said 20 pounds.
I will be spending my last £20 in the cinema, even though I don't have it. Someone's probably going to need to sponsor me. I'll
still be booting the back of someone's chair. And obviously, again, in regards to what we just said earlier on, look after your creativity. Protect your creativity. Shield your creativity from the wolves, man.
Yeah.
From
Honestly,
from people who be poaching your ideas.
Even people sort of like on Instagram that even people on Twitter. I've seen people steal tweets from other people just for likes and retweets. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Shield all of that.
I've seen people on Twitter take someone else's tweet, present them as their own.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
What was that we just...
Isn't that what I just said, Abby? Even on Twitter, people take tweets for likes and retweets. I thought that's what I said.
Why did that English get to me?
You presented it as a whole brand new idea.
I just did the same thing we were talking about. That was so unintentional. Talk about plagiarism.
I should have copywritten that.
How not to plagiarize everybody. With the person still sitting in the room next to me. Oh my God, I can't breathe. Really? It's because I can't multitask. Because I was reading our next thing. I can't multitask. Wow, I actually just plagiarized Tolu while she was sitting here.
Honestly.
Whilst you were still talking.
Literally interrupted me mid-sentence to tell me the same thing that I was saying.
That was rich.
I think that's a perfect time to wrap up there.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
We appreciate it. Any questions, just send over to us on Twitter or Instagram or email. Our email address is the culturerealpod@gmail.com, and our Twitter is the culturereal.
And so is our Instagram the culturereal. And then I'm at Abby Films.
And I'm at Tracky Sanya.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
I guess we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.